Hey, good morning, everybody. Rev here this morning. It is Tuesday. It is the 8th of June, and I hope that you're safe and well and blessed this morning. Having a good day so far. I know if you're watching this morning, it may be kind of early, but if you're watching it later on, I hope you're having a great day. And I hope you're using your opportunities that you get to be a witness for Jesus. I'm going to read to you this morning just a couple of verses. This is from Luke chapter 19. This is verses 9 and 10. Jesus said to him, "Today salvation has come to this house, because this man too is a son of Abraham. For the Son of Man came to seek and to save what is lost, or what was lost." May God add his blessing to the reading of his word this morning and the hearing as well. Now, that particular verse comes at the end of a story that you may very well be familiar with, and that is the story of Zacchaeus. We'll talk about that here in just a minute. Now, one of the things that I used to like to do as a kid was play basketball. I wasn't all that good, but I could hold my own for the most part. But part of my problem was being short. Now, there are several things that are important if you want to be a good basketball player. You need some pretty sure hands so that you can catch the ball and dribble the ball up and down the court. A good player needs to be able to dribble equally well with their right and with their left hand, and that's one thing I wasn't real good at. Well, I could do the thing between the legs and all that kind of stuff, but I could do behind the back, but I still wasn't very good at it. And it also helps to have quick feet to be a good shooter. My shooting wasn't horrible, but I don't know that I was overly quick. But they're just skills that people can have, or they can even develop with a lot of determination and a lot of hard work. And the other thing about playing basketball that's helpful is it's something that you can't do anything about. I mean, no matter how hard you work and develop your skills, no matter how much hard work you do, this is just something that you cannot develop, and that is being tall. I was never tall. I'm not tall now. I was short. I just built low to the ground. And a lot of professional basketball players today, a lot of them they're close to 7 feet tall. I'm not even close to 6 feet tall. So it's helpful to be tall, but you could be successful in basketball without being tall. Case in point, several years ago, there was a basketball player by the name of Nate Archibald. Now, when he finished college, most of the professional teams wouldn't even look at him. They ignored him because he was too short. In fact, they used to call him Tiny. That was his nickname. But finally, the Cincinnati Royals, who is actually now the Sacramento Kings, they decided to take a chance on Archibald, and they signed him. Well, he made it big in the NBA because he was lightning fast, he had great hands, and he was a great shooter. He played in the NBA for 14 years, and he became known as the player who proved that a little man could play in the NBA. During his career, he was named to the All-NBA 5 times. He was named to the NBA All-Star team 6 times, and he was elected into the NBA Hall of Fame. Not too bad for a man that most people thought he was too short to play basketball. Well, the Bible tells us about another man who was great, even though he wasn't very tall. And yes, I mentioned him before. I'm talking about Zacchaeus. Now, I'm pretty sure most of you know the story of Zacchaeus. But in case somebody that's listening does not, Zacchaeus was not only short, Zacchaeus was a man who was hated by almost everyone because he was a tax collector, which meant he worked for the Romans and not for the Jews. And as a tax collector, he often cheated people, and he collected more taxes than they owed. Well, one day, Zacchaeus heard that Jesus was coming. He was coming to town. And he had heard about Jesus, and he wanted to see him. But he was too short, and he couldn't see over the crowds. So he climbs up in this tree, a sycamore tree, so that he could see Jesus. And as Jesus passed by, he called out to Zacchaeus. And he says, "Come down, because I'm coming to your house today." Well, Zacchaeus climbed down. He took Jesus into his house. And while Jesus was there, Zacchaeus told Jesus that he was sorry for all of the wrong things that he did, and that he would give half of what he owned to the poor, and that he would also repay anyone that he had cheated 4 times the amount. He may have not been very tall, Zacchaeus, but he became a giant in God's kingdom. He became a giant in God's kingdom that day because he decided to follow Jesus. You may not be very tall, and even in this life, in this world, on planet Earth, even if you are tall, you can still, no matter how tall or how short you are, you can be a giant in the eyes of God if you will simply follow Jesus. Hallelujah. Pastor Mark, love you guys. Be safe, be well, be blessed. Go do something for Jesus. I'll see you tomorrow.